Alrighty, guys. Have you been looking at this Sora 2 stuff?
No, Sora 2.
Yeah, Sora 2 is one of the new AI programs or applications or whatever that lets you do videos. It's a big step up from what it was before, I guess. And I've been seeing a lot of clips of like people testing it out on Twitter with anime and having all these fights as they're pretty rough, and it's obvious that it's just referencing like clips from anime. It is pretty wild to see how far it's getting, and it's just getting closer every day. But the reason I bring it up is because there was a clip that was going around of Goku and Vegeta fusing, and I'm gonna post it in our Discord real quick so you could see it. So this is the frame of them being fused together, and it's like super wonky. And then, like, yeah, I saw that, didn't think of anything of it. And then yesterday, as of this recording, and when I saw it, I was like, oh, of course, this makes sense. On Japanese Twitter, they're loving it. And there's been fan art of this fusion. And they've been calling him, was it Kakata? Like Kakarot and Vegeta fused. Yeah, and, I'm not going to lie, like, the fit's okay.
Yeah, not bad, honestly. His hair is probably what does it for me.
Yeah.
It's exactly what you would expect out of somebody who would like do fan art.
Yeah, there's two types of fan art here that I shared. It's like one is like, oh yeah, the Dragon Ball Z artists that are super good, and then there's just people that like this idea, and then the art is just on the same level, if not above the AI version of just like the proportions and stuff.
Right.
It's great.
And I honestly prefer the fan art, like the equivalent art versus like the super good ones. Because like the super good ones is just like you just make anything look good when you draw it like that. You know what I mean? Like they even changed his hairstyle for both of those pictures. I think it's just the one on like the line paper that really sells it for me the
Yeah, it's like
most.
the head's smaller than the whole body. Yeah.
Yeah, dude, it's perfectly symmetrical. It's so great. So fucking cool. Yeah, this is really awesome. I had to like look it up on YouTube as you were mentioning it to me, and I actually have seen some of these videos, but not like in retrospect to anime. Like on Instagram, I would see like basically videos of body cam footage, and all the body cam footage is just like in the car, it's a dog, and the dog's in the passenger seat, and the dog's like, he's like, you were going 40 and a 30, and the dog is just being a dog and just takes off in the car, like it just starts driving the car somehow. And I've seen a couple of those, and I didn't realize that was from this AI engine. I guess it's an engine. If there are different AIs, is that what they're called? Or are they models? I guess they're models, right?
Oh
Because
yeah,
that's
yeah.
what they
Yeah,
are.
Sora 2 is through OpenAI.
Yeah, a lot of these have been a little nuts on Instagram, like fucking Peter Griffin getting arrested,
Yeah.
and it's just like a real life Peter Griffin, and it looks just like a real dude, like like a stupid haircut.
Yeah, the crazy ones that I've been seeing are the South Park fake episodes that people are generating, and it's pretty spot on. I mean, like it's not that hard to animate South Park. There was like a Hawk Tuah episode with the Hawk Tuah coin. Yeah, no, I could see this being a real episode.
Honestly, I wouldn't doubt that at some point if they use this, it's really gonna have some people like second guess whether what they're watching is like the genuine article or not.
Yeah, I saw one of everybody cosplaying for Demon Slayer, and like Cartman was Nezuko, and like the outrage that he had. Wow, yeah, it's pretty solid.
I actually saw that one too, and until you just pointed that out, I didn't know that that was fake. I thought that that was probably just an episode from the new season or something. How's your week been?
I've been doing a lot, man. I did finish a book though, and just to talk about it, just real quick, it was a book I bought a long time ago at LA Comic Con. I've been meaning to read, and I was like, you know what? I got some time before I read another book. This one's pretty short. I'll just read it now, and it's called Untamed. Basically, a breakdown of the psychology of Wolverine himself. I'm a big Wolverine fan. I'm like, oh yeah, this is perfect. I'll read this since he's such a deep character with he's been alive forever basically, and so there's probably a lot to unpack there, and it was a fine book. It's more or less a basic outline from inception, his origin, Weapon X, the X-Men. Like it goes down like through his basic timeline, and like we'll get into specific details when it needs to. Yeah, it was enjoyable. Like you get to learn some stuff, and then the author also dove into some other characters relating to Wolverine, depending on what specific field of psychology they were talking about in the chapter. My copy was like under 200 pages, so it was a decently quick read. Yeah, after reading that and seeing the Wolverine trailer, I'm like, man, the Wolverine itch is scratching in my head, man. Need some more.
What was like your big takeaway from the book?
It's one of those situations where you're reading it and it's like, oh yeah, I kind of figured this would relate to Wolverine, or like this is why the way he acts, and it was just nice getting like a deeper discussion about it. I know that makes sense, but why does it make sense? And like that kind of answers it a little bit. I know there's like a couple other things that probably could have been brought up with it. That's like super obscure and stuff. Like probably a lot of one-offs and like very random things. Like it brought up when Wolverine's adamantium got pulled out from Magneto. Like going through that, like there was a direction they took talking about it, and then after reading that, I was like, oh, they didn't really talk about like when he was this. I forget his name, but after that, when the adamantium got removed from his skeleton, he turned into like this different persona, basically. Like he was more ruthless and like more animal-like.
It's like his power, right? Because the adamantium was poisoning him, right?
In the Logan movie, that's the case. Is that he has adamantium poisoning. Basically, when the adamantium was removed from his body, like his healing factor kicked into overdrive, and that started making him go a little bit crazy and more feral. And that's when he was wearing like this bandana over his face, and then I believe like he was missing his nose during that part too, or something weird and crazy.
So I guess my question to you is like, from this book, this is this like an official book?
It's not an official book, no.
I mean, at the same time, I guess it's like, I don't know if she was doing like some sort of dissertation. I don't know how much research she did on Wolverine.
No, there's a lot. Like the foreword for the book was from one of the authors of Wolverine. She actually talked with a lot of the creators and stuff. That's another thing I like about the book, is that it's hard as just a person, right, to like get all the info of something that you're into. Like an example would be, well, no, I don't want to spoil it. The ending for season 2 of Severance, right, is kind of crazy. And then there's like a podcast or like an interview or something where they kind of explain something, and like, oh, that's a lot of clarity, but not everyone's going to see that. And so in this book, we get quotes from like her interviews with the authors and writers for Wolverine over the years. Just getting their take on the storyline and why they wrote it a specific way and how they view Logan as a character. And like that stuff is always great to me. Like I wish we just get more of that all the time.
I mean, I would use outside the box a little bit more broadly here, but I mean, like, I would say, like, from the psychological standpoint, like, she's pretty much, evaluating Wolverine the way that she would for anybody else professionally. I think that's pretty cool. Like, she's just using him as a case study and then just kind of made a book about it.
Yeah, more or less. Yeah, it's great. I kind of wish we got more stuff like that. I'm sure, like, you see it all the time, like, on Twitter. Like, there's just threads of people breaking down characters and, like, why they're a certain way or what they represent and stuff.
It's that fucking guy who does the One Piece series on Twitter.
Oh, that guy.
Always fucking arguing with everybody.
Yeah.
And he'll just go into fucking threads about like, this is what's going to happen. And this is why I think this is, and I'm like, I got to block you, bro. At this point, I got
Yeah. Like I saw this thread, I think the other day of, it was just, like one of those questions of like, hey, who would take the mantle of Daredevil once Matt Murdock is gone or whatever. And then this person went on a whole thing of like, Daredevil's not a mantle, it's specifically for Matt Murdock only. There should not be another Daredevil, like how there are with other legacy successors like Miles Morales and Sam Wilson and stuff.
Yeah, like Ghost Riders and Spider-Mans. And kind of a side tangent, did you hear of the DC coming out with the new series called Absolute?
Yeah, I do want to get into the Absolute universe because there's some crazy stuff going on over there.
Yeah, I really just like know like the surface level stuff. I think it all really started when I saw like a picture of Absolute Joker go around, and it was just like some monster thing. Like I don't know what happened to him in this universe or whatever the fuck is going on, but I was like, if that guy is even sentient, I would be remiss to think that that has to still be fucking Batman's arch enemy at this point. Like if he looks like that, I don't even want to know what Batman looks like.
Oh,
If he's still
buddy.
gonna look the same at all.
Yeah, if Absolute Joker's your first look, just Google some Absolute Batman stuff because shit is crazy in his world. Like, all I know is there's only 3 runs I think they're doing. It's, of course, the trio Superman, Wonder Woman, and Batman. Have never seen anything for Absolute Superman, so don't even know if that's even worth anyone's time. I've seen stuff early on for Wonder Woman, and her stuff looks pretty cool. It's more like, what do I want to say, like Celtic German-esque, Norse-esque, I would say, because she has like a lot of tattoos. She has like this crazy huge like Viking-like sword and stuff. But the most stuff, of course, is from Batman because, yeah, he's still Bruce Wayne, but he's not a billionaire, if I'm not mistaken. And he's like 6'3", he's like 300 pounds, and he's just beating the dog shit out of all of his enemies.
Okay. What else is new on that one?
Yeah, but he's like, he doesn't give a damn. Like he takes off the bat emblem on his chest and he turns it into an axe and he uses that as a weapon.
Oh, is he like killing people?
I don't know if he's killing people. Yeah, he just has it rough because like Absolute Bane is insane. He's like what, like 8 feet tall, like 1,000 pounds. Killer Croc, dude. Killer Croc's the big one. I think Killer Croc's design is like the start of like the most insane batshit crazy stuff for Batman. And it's like, dog, how is he supposed to fight this thing?
Yeah, no shit, dude. This is fucking nuts. That's definitely like a Dark Souls character. His teeth go all the way down to his torso. The only other thing that I saw, I think that they I don't know if they released Superman, but I did see Absolute Lex Luthor. That was
Oh,
like I guess like a reveal that happened recently. And he's just like some ginger redhead. Just him chilling with his wife on on his fucking farmland.
oh, you know what? There is one more Absolute series I just remembered. Absolute Martian Manhunter.
Oh, nice.
My buddy picked up an issue when we were like out and about. Earlier this year? Very different. Like Martian Manhunter is almost, I guess he's kind of like a parasite in a way, where he invaded this detective's body, and the detective doesn't know yet and stuff. It was a interesting first issue. The art style is very abstract. Like it's pretty cool.
He's basically Parasite.
And like his design is just freaking crazy. Like it's pretty cool. Like I like that DC said, let's just do another universe that's just out there. Like, hey, your idea is cool. Get in. Let's do this.
Yeah, I really like his colors. His whole vibe is so fucking wonky. If that was my first take on Martian Manhunter ever, that would probably give me a little nightmare. I'm not gonna lie. And it's almost like Pokemon, where they give you like a really simple design. You have to really look at it, like stare at it, to notice that the design is actually more complicated than it looks. Staring at a giraffe, like his eye isn't just like, it's like a crystal, and then like if you look at his face head on, it doesn't look like it, but it's concave. It's just so like perplexing a little bit. Yeah, man, that does look a little nuts. I'm really glad that they're doing something new with that.
Yeah, other than that, nothing much on my end. Oh, there is though. I don't know if you checked it out. I shared a link for this new game that's on Kickstarter right now. It's called Ghost Vanguard. It's a roguelike fantasy beat 'em up game.
Oh yeah, this has definitely got like a blasphemous sort of Dead Cell vibe. This is definitely my vibe right here. It kind of also reminds me of Hades, the way that the room is styled. You could parry too. Oh, that's nuts.
Yeah, the Kickstarter launched last week, I believe, as of this recording, and it was like 80% of the way last I checked. It's awesome. Their stretch goal right now is to get it on the main consoles, because right now it's only Steam and Switch. But yeah, again, the game is Ghost Vanguard, so I recommend checking it out. Looks like it's going to be a good one.
Looking at that game really makes me want Bloodstained 2 to come out already. I think we brought it up before, but from the time that I had brought it up before, this game has gotten even more popular. Talking about Mega Bonk.
Yes.
At this point, this game has just blown the fuck up. Like everybody has heard of this game. Every content creator at this point has almost touched this game. The guy who created it is constantly putting out updates for it. I don't know if he has a roadmap because I have not purchased the game myself yet. But it's $10 on Steam. I'm definitely gonna get my hands on this soon. I was kind of reluctant at first because I don't really want to be the person that buys multiple games or the same game multiple times. Like I would like to play it on console, but realistically, even if the game is super popular, it's still a decision he has to make if he wants to put it to console. Like just kind of, I think we talked about this last week, but it's not something that they have to do. It just makes sense if that would be something, for someone to do that. But
Yeah.
generally, I think that that would also make sense for like bigger studios too, right? Who can kind of invest the manpower and time into doing that. If this guy is pretty much doing all this by himself or with whatever kind of number of teaming that he has, then it's just like, he might not even try to focus on making the game for a console and might just either just continue putting quality of life updates into his game or just make a second one.
Lot of good games on Steam, but will they ever make consoles? I mean, I don't know.
Like I said, I'll probably get it this Friday. Put my hands on it if I can get my charger for my laptop. Something like that, I can see myself just dumping hours into, just no problems.
One thing I didn't know about Mega Bonk was that it's what do you call it? Like it's an auto attacker game.
Yeah, right. You just kind of move in a direction, and it just attacks like in proximity to wherever the monsters are around you. From what I've noticed, that's pretty much how it works. But it's still an interesting concept because there are a lot of like I would say buffs that you can get in the game. They have like a curse totem. So when you pass the curse totem, it like raises the difficulty, and when you raise the difficulty, it increases the amount of like ads that come in the mobs. All the same, it's supposed to help you increase like how much XP that you end up getting as you're going through the levels. There are two or three levels, I think, and then those levels have tiers, and the tiers are going to represent like just the default level of difficulty and like I think what bosses that you might fight. The whole thing is pretty rad. The last thing I'll say about it is the best character by far that I've seen so far is just a monkey.
Oh yeah.
It's a monkey in a tank top with glasses. I think it's like Monkey Man or whatever, and like his weapon by default is just giant bananas that swing around. Aside from that, dude, I haven't also been doing too much myself. I've been hearing and seeing a lot of stuff. Speaking of games, I don't know if you've heard of it, but there is a Steam demo for a game called Marvel Cosmic Invaders. I don't know when it's supposed to be released, but I think it's supposed to be released this year. Or I'm sorry, not Cosmic Invaders, Cosmic Invasion.
Oh yes, yes. The beat 'em up game. Yeah. Yeah, this game looks crazy. There's been trailers here and there, and I've been seeing some of the gameplay, and it's like, oh god, it's perfect.
Yeah, it really makes me want to play that TMNT game that came out a while back on PlayStation Plus. Because I did end up getting it, but I didn't end up playing it because I was hoping that we would all play together and stuff. But honestly, it just looks too good to pass up.
But yeah, no, it looks awesome. It's keeping that retro pixel style like to a peak. All the characters I've seen they've chosen for the game so far have been great picks. This Marvel gaming stride is just keep going and going, and I'm here for it.
Yeah, dude, same. If they can keep this direction going, I don't see them losing any sort of popularity, at least in the gaming market, anytime soon.
Yeah, because even though I stopped playing Marvel Rivals, I'll always keep seeing stuff for it, and it's like, yeah, man, like that shit looks great. Daredevil looks crazy in that game right now. And then, of course, the big one, Tokon Fighters, will be here before we know it, and that's just gonna blow up like crazy.
Yeah, I really think that that's probably going to be the big one when it comes out. I don't imagine it taking more traction than Rivals. I just imagine it basically going on the same plateau because when it comes to fighters, the biggest thing that can happen for this game is just going to be it going to like Evo, right? Just being up there on the board with all the other games. This definitely seems like it has the bones to be in Evo. I mean, I wouldn't say the worst thing about this game, but like it's got stage transitions, doesn't it? Just like Guilty Gear.
Yes.
Yeah, but even then, Guilty Gear is also an Evo, and people fucking love that. I love that game.
Oh
What are you
yeah, no,
talking
this
about?
game will. This game will probably be a main stage Evo game, no question about it. I wish I got into the closed beta when they did it a while back, but yeah, from what I saw like on Max's channel and like a couple other places, it's a very interesting quote unquote 4v4 fighting game.
It Doctor Doom just looks so fucking cool, man. Sort of Star Lord, honestly. I'm just all in for like these like they're just so fucking shonen out, dude. Iron Man is just full fucking like his whole costume just essentially changed. He just straight up looks like a Gundam.
Yeah, he's like a common writer.
Yeah, that's the better way to put it. He's definitely like some like Neo Common Rider Edge type shit.
Yeah, no man, I'm excited. I want to see what the rest of the cast is going to be. How big is this roster? Because right now they have all the right choices. I want to say for the six players we saw, six characters we saw. So I'm hoping they keep that streak going.
I think my main concern is how many characters they would put behind the season pass. Like essentially how many they're gonna paywall. I just really hope that the base roster is a good amount. Like I would say like for a 4v4 game, hopefully it's gonna be more than 16.
Yeah, there hasn't been any official discussion for it yet. But yeah, at least more than 16 would be nice. Because, we saw the last tag fighter with a very small roster, and no one's talking about that game. Hey, while we're talking manga and stuff, I just started it, so next episode I'll be sure to bring more to the table about it. But I am reading Sailor Moon right now. I'm not reading the manga of Sailor Moon. I am reading what I guess you can call a light novel adaptation of Sailor Moon.
Okay.
The only reason I'm reading it and bringing it up is because not only is it a light novel adaptation, it's an adaptation of the anime. And not just the anime, it's the adaptation for the original English dub.
Oh, the what was that fucking studio called?
Yeah, it's the original one from back in the day where they changed all the names, Americanized it and stuff. Yeah, the DIC dub. I found it randomly at Book Off. It's issue 2 and it came out in 99 and I was like, "Oh, so this is like back in the day. Okay, I have to read this and see what's going on." And just the beginning of it, I was already like, "Oh yeah, no, this is already like Americanized cuz like Usagi or oh God, what the hell's her name? Like Selena.
Yeah, Selena.
I only found one of them. So if I ever find them out in the wild, I will definitely be getting them. But yeah, I'll let you guys know next time. Oh, yeah, and fun fact. So the author, apparently she wrote Sailor Moon fanfic back in the day. And that's how Smile found her and hired her to write the adaptations.
That's cool.
Okay, so there's 8 volumes in total. They mostly cover the early episodes from the first season, as well as a bunch of episodes that never aired in North America. Just to be clear, like I say light novels, right? Because that's the way to associate it. But these are meant for the younger audience that were watching Sailor Moon. And so it's doing that thing where like the font's a little bit bigger, the spacing, you're like almost double spacing, when you're trying to cheat your way out of an essay for pages. So it's I'm going to be flying through it, I think, a little bit faster than other books this size.
So as of this recording, I have to be honest with you, my world has been really bleak. There have been a lot of things going on, both in real life and, of course, in all of my favorite mangas. But I think one of the things that's always disheartening is when people get sick. You never know what sort of projects and things are being put on hold due to a person's health declining. Recently, the GOAT, Mr. Ichiro Oda, he was feeling under the weather. And I guess it kept progressively getting worse. So for a time, the anime was on hiatus. Not hiatus, I would say, but it was on break. And so was the manga. And then just this past week, as of this recording, it was confirmed that he did make a recovery. But I got to tell you, man, like it's almost like it's a really familiar scare. Like at this point, it's a very familiar feeling. With Toriyama and Miura. I really, really wanted for something to happen with Berserk, even though Mora passed away. Like some sort of like sure will sign that the IP was going to be in good hands. I feel like One Piece wouldn't ever be under the same boat just because of how popular it is. part of me was coming into realization that if something were to happen to Oda, it's just like I'm sure his team know what to do. Like I'm sure they have the fucking the storyboard up for like the next couple of years up until the point where like he was planning on making his ending. Like at this point I just have to make sure like I can like emotionally and mentally tell myself like, hey, you're 30 years old. One Piece is also 30 years old, and Oda's not getting any younger. So part of me is just like, yeah, I kind of want this to wrap up, but at the same time, the other part of me is just like, let's just keep going for as long as you can, man. Just make sure that you see the end of it. Fuck.
Yeah, this is not a uncommon thing with Oda, unfortunately. I mean, that's both on his end and just being a mangaka overall, right? Like there was gosh, when was that? It was like it was like years ago. I think around like when Bakuman was around, but someone like created like a week sheet of like a mangaka's work life. There's no time. They have no time to do anything. Like average, you get like what 3-4 hours of sleep a day. You're in the office all day, just working on the storyboards, talking with your editor, like, and you're gonna have to redo the script like at least 2 times before you get the chapter down. You're on that tight schedule for weekly manga. Yeah, it's rough, man. And never forget freaking Oda. He's so passionate for One Piece that they had to force him to go on vacation because he was just digging himself too deep into it, getting sick a lot. And it's like, no, bro, like take care of yourself before, this gets any worse.
I think so far that's only happened what twice. One Piece went on hiatus for like 6 months so that he can go on vacation.
No, not 6 months. No,
Uh,
no. His like the first real break for One Piece was the time skip, and that was only 1 month.
was that really only 1 month? Damn.
And then after that, more recently, like within the past like 5 years, there was another 1 month break. I don't know. I'm not caught up, so I don't know if they're still doing that schedule where it's like every other week a chapter comes out. But they were doing that, and it's like, yeah, that hopefully it was giving him more time to relax and stuff.
I think it's 2 chapters, like one chapter a week and then one chapter the other week, and then he goes on break. I could be wrong about that, but that's just what I've noticed. And then, of course, we were supposed to have a chapter last week, but he was sick.
Would you rather have a high production anime with amazing choreography, but there's an off chance you won't remember it because it didn't hit you or wow you? If it's high production and amazing choreography, how's it not going to wow you?
Probably like God of High School.
I guess so. It wasn't that. I want to say it was that high production, but it was just shiny.
I mean, it looked good for what it was and when it came out, right? It's like a shiny it's a shiny gold turd, is the way I think about it. I can understand that there are shiny gold turds out there. I mean, there are plenty of like shonen series that were like released between the last year or two that many people believe that they should have gotten like a season 2 for, but a lot of series are just like the same thing over and over again, just muddled isekais or muddled shonens, things like that. So even if they have like, I guess like a high production isekai or a high production shonen, it's not any different from any other shonen or any other isekai. And I think that's where it kind of comes in, where it doesn't really wow you. It doesn't really hit you because it's just like, well, this is just kind of the same as everything else, even if it looks good.
I think the reason why people don't remember God of High School, the anime, is because the anime just sucked. Like it did a lot of changes, and
A lot of changes, right? About
yeah,
that.
and that's not what they should have done. And also, like, I guess they blew their load early with like the beginning fights. I'm not too sure. I never watched the whole thing, but every now and then you will see the at least the intro, and everyone's like, "Oh my god, this looks awesome! What is it?" And then they'll say, "Oh, it's got High School, but don't watch it. It sucks."
True. Yeah, it is what it is.
If you want to call it high production, just like those fights in Demon Slayer, I just don't really care for. They're too over the top. Same thing with like One Piece. Like they don't wow me at all. It's just like too distracting.
Yeah, I believe I can understand. Like there has to be a clear distinction of what we mean by the term high quality. We say high production, and we know that we're just talking about all the value and money and everything that they're just putting in effects. That's the practical and special effects, and pretty much anything that they can throw money into in an actual scene. But I feel like high quality contrast to high production has to mean like how good the actual bones are for that series. Like talking about the series in and of itself and not just the style of it, not the visual or the auditory or anything like that, just the actual story in and of itself, I feel like is what I take into effect to be the quality of something.
If I go back and watch it right now, I'm sure it's not like the best high production, but for sure, like the last fight in season 1 of Medaka Box was great. Like it was all hype. It was pretty cool. And even like the DBZ fights, I guess it's not quote unquote high production, but those fights are always memorable. So thanks guys for listening. Thanks for sticking around. If you have any questions or comments like we answered today, unversedpodcast@gmail.com. And we'll sure to bring those up on future episodes. And until then, we'll catch you next time.